Hello everyone, today is episode 1 of my Mini-Muerta sandbox world. I'm building this sandbox in the Isla Nublar 1993 map, where I've covered the entire map in water and then I used the terrain brushes to create this mini Isla Muerta shaped island. For this first episode, I'm just going to be building the entry area and guest section with the first dinosaur in the park, which you guys voted for Tyrannosaurus Rex. Throughout this series, you guys will be able to vote for which dinosaurs I place into the park, as well as which sorts of areas and guest sections I incorporate into each part of the island. I decided to start off the park on this side of the island, where I destroyed the trees to begin building the guest section. For a majority of this park, I'm going to be using the Jurassic World themed buildings and decorations. For a lot of the building and decorating portions, I'm going to have the video sped up with some music in the background, so please enjoy the next couple minutes without my voice. I decided to line this outside path that's closest to the beach with these light fences to hypothetically stop the guests from accessing the beach. After lining the pathway, I decided to just continue with the fencing and go around the entire outside edge of the island, which I'll be continuing to do as I expand the park. I also wanted to fill in all these little patches of green with tropical trees, considering I wasn't going to be filling them with buildings. I plan on making several guest sections throughout this park, with this one being the original starting point for the park, and having some other guest sections that are more based towards luxury or VIP guests. I did struggle for quite a while here trying to figure out what exactly to incorporate into all of this open space, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to check them all out. I tried to make a sort of like courtyard here using a different type of path, but it didn't really turn out exactly how I wanted, so I ended up just leaving this area blank for now, and I could potentially add more to it in the future. I decided to just place this emergency shelter here for now and extend the pathway a little bit until I find something better to do with it. Now it's time to incorporate the Tyrannosaurus Rex enclosure into this first section of the park, so I'm going to clear out some more trees and figure out the best spot to start building. I thought that this little corner of land next to this mountain was perfect, so this will be the new home for the T-Rex. I started the fencing here, that way one side of the enclosure would be parallel to the pathway. I followed the line of the beach all the way around this corner here and to the mountain, and since I'm going to have comfort turned off for all the dinosaurs in this park, this will be the perfect size for the T-Rex. I decided to just make this a pretty basic enclosure considering it's the first in the park, but I still want to introduce the wow factor of the fact that it is a T-Rex, so I'm using this log viewing gallery to really put the guests right up close and personal with the dinosaur. Because the pathway is so close to the fence, I had to make a little divot into the enclosure to place a viewing gallery here. But in my personal opinion, this has always looked more appealing than having a viewing gallery attached to the fence and having the whole line of fence over 4 feet away from the path. This helps to keep everything kind of close together without having a bunch of open little patches of grass everywhere. I started by placing a patch of tropical trees on either side of this log viewing gallery to kind of hide the loose ends where it kind of just cuts off, just because it looks a little nicer in my opinion. Then I wanted to move on to using rock decorations because rocks help bring texture and character to all of your enclosures, and I wanted to have a little bit more than just some level ground here. I also extended this mountain a little tiny bit and raised the terrain just to add some more texture and depth to the enclosure. I did some fine-tuning with the terrain brushes here by adding some dirt around the enclosure and placing sand under the water source to make it look like cleaner water. The enclosure still felt a little bland in my opinion, so I started adding some more of the individual placed trees. And of course, I couldn't forget to add the food because the T-Rex eats 140 kilograms of food per day. To put it into perspective, that's about the total of 80 people. Now I just wanted to add some last minute details by using the terrain brushes to add some ground cover. There wasn't really anything I could think of to make this enclosure more complete, so now it was time to release the first dinosaur in our Mini-Muerta park. While I was waiting for her to be transported, I refilled this area with trees. I decided to use the classic Rexy skin for this T-Rex because who doesn't love Rexy? That concludes episode 1 of my mini Isla Muerta sandbox park. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to comment down below and tune in next time.